Hello, everyone. Coach E here for another solo show of Beyond the Workout. And this one is really about you getting started for you. Those of you who are 50, 60, 70 years old, and you think, well, it's too late to get started in your fitness and health journey, think again. You can start right now for the rest of your life. And I want to just to talk about what is it that can motivate you and why aren't you motivated? And what do you need to do to get started? Well, one reason I'm talking to you because you've accomplished so much in your life already. Have you raised a family? If you don't have children, have you been married for a long time? Uh, have you endured a career? Even if it was something that you might not have liked, but you stayed in this job or this career for decades, and you've bought a house, you've bought cars, you've known how to manage things throughout your life, but sometimes your health has suffered because you'll say, well, I don't know what to do. Well, you can learn what to do and know how to do it and take care of it for yourself. In fact, I think about using uh, personal trainers. When you use a personal trainer like me or fitness coach, I should be someone that teach you how to take the reins for yourself and you keep going for the rest of your life and being fit and healthy. And it's a cyclical routine that you're going to do just like eating. You eat every day, you're going to exercise on specific days or really every day. And when I say exercise, you don't have to weight train every day. You don't have to run every day, but you can certainly walk every day. And we'll get into that. But what is it that can motivate you? And then why is it that certain things don't? Because you've been on this earth for a long time and you've heard these health and fitness tips over and over again. But why haven't they done what they needed to do for you? And one of the reasons I say that because I was motivated by bodybuilding. I wanted to uh, get on stage and be this um, uh, competitive posing bodybuilder. I mean, do your flexing your muscles in front of everyone, and I did it as an amateur. But the identity that I've kept is being a calling myself a bodybuilder, and I want to keep that look as a bodybuilder. So I work out almost every day, at least 6 days a week. Um, there are friends of mine or people I've heard have other things have been a factor to them because you might not identify as a bodybuilder like me, but what is it that you can tap into to help you to get started and keep going? A friend of mine suffered from drug addiction, and he had to go to strength training, powerlifting, so it can prevent him from going back down that road of drugs. I've heard of some of these social media influencers who were into fitness. It was depression that they had to overcome, and weight training in a gym has helped. Uh, there are so many factors, but what is it about you? In fact, there's something I wanted to read to you, and it's this book that we got from a store that they discounted the price on it. And it's called 100 Best Ways to Stay Young. This book it shows it costs 9.99 or $10, but we got it for 99 cents. Now, I'm not going to go over all 100 of these, but I'm almost certain. And when I go over the first 10, it's likely you'll say, I know of 90, 80 to 90% of those, meaning eight or nine of these or have heard it. But what has it done for you? Why hasn't it motivated you? So I'm going to go and just read the titles and just probably a snippet of the first 10. And I'm going to start with number one, which you probably heard. And what has it done for you? Has it motivated you? It says the importance of breakfast. And it says breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It follows the longest period of time you would normally go without eating after several hours of sleep. And its name means to end a period of fasting or not eating, breaking the fast. Well, you know that. You probably heard that. But there's a lot of people who say they don't like to eat breakfast. Well, they can't. They're not hungry when they wake up. So some are for this, some aren't. What about you? Does this work for you? Are you motivated to eat breakfast? I think it's important to do so, and I do it. As a coach, I would encourage you to do it, but will it work for you? I can't force you to, but I would encourage you. Number two, drink plenty of water. Well, that is nothing new. You've heard that over and over again. But how much water? Or should you drink get all your water from drinking glasses of water? Did you know you can get water from your foods? A lot of people don't know that. Well, how much is too much? How much is too little? Does that motivate you to investigate? Are you trying to do that? Maybe, maybe not. What works for you? Number three. Now you might not have heard of this, but this is a this this has a positive and negative for some. Some disagree with it. Some agree with it. But what works for you? It says eat more starchy foods. Starchy foods, technically known as carbohydrates, make up the food group that is your body's main source of energy. Now, that is true. And some of the things it says here to eat is bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, noodles, cereals, and other starchy carbohydrates. But there's a lot of um, of fitness folks and nutritionists saying eat less of those things, or people go on low carb diets or no carb diets. Well, what works for you? And can you keep going with this? Can you be consistent with it? Well, number four. Now, this one is funny because you've definitely heard this one. You probably heard it since you were 10 years old or younger. It says eat more fruit and vegetables. And here's what the blurb says. It says a healthy diet includes eating at least five portions and ideally more of a variety of fruit and vegetables each day. Ooh, is that easy for you to do? Maybe, maybe not. What works for you? Number five, follow the Mufa rule. You probably never heard of that, but it says forget simplistic fat free dieting. As an anti aging food, monounsaturated fatty acids, Mufas for short, are top of the list. Now, some of the things that they list here for Mufas, they say their top four Mufa rich foods are vegetable oils such as olive, canola, flaxseed, and safflower, nuts and seeds, not peanuts, olives, and avocados. Now, I know olives, which I don't like, avocados, which I do like sometimes, are good for you. But I've heard that certain vegetable oils, and particularly canola oil, isn't. So you have some that agree with this and some don't. What works for you? Okay, let's go into number six. Now, this won't be hard for many people, but I can do it, but some can't. It says eat more fish. And one of the reasons they recommend fish is because it's is rich in omega-3 fatty acids. But how do you eat your fish? I know a lot of people, including me, love fried fish. When you fry the fish, you lose its nutrients. It reduces its nutrients or becomes none at all. And can you eat fish every day? Some say twice a week, some say once a week. What works for you? Okay, and is this motivating you yet? All right, let's go into number seven. Reduce saturated fats and sugar. Now, I'm going to stop right there because you've heard this over and over again. Eat less sugar, less saturated fats. Our snack foods are full of this. A lot of foods now are have added sugar in it. It's hard. You have to be kind of extreme to avoid it. My brother, my youngest brother, has done it. He's just he checks every label. Anything that says added sugar, he doesn't eat it at all. It could be 1 gram. He said he won't eat it. But what about you? Can you do this? Is this motivating? Probably not. The number eight is consume less salt. No brainer there. Sodium rich foods are all around us. Number nine, it says balance your weight. Now, when it talks about balancing your weight, it's talking about your food weight, your calories. A lot of people don't want a calorie count. A lot of people don't want to count their macronutrients, your protein, fats, and carbohydrates, and eating them in a certain balanced way. It's hard. And just listening to this, I doubt it's something that's motivating to you. But number 10, it says eat 3 superfoods per day. And in here, it lists the top 10 superfoods. Now, when I read this top 10 superfoods, ask yourself, yes or no. When I go 1 through 10, you say yes or no. And and I think I get almost two, but they say eat 3 of these every day, well, per day. So it says number 1, soy. Number 2, leafy greens. Number 3, garlic. Number 4, wheatgrass juice. Number 5, shiitake mushroom. Number 6, flaxseed oil. Number 7, green tea. Number 8, seaweed. Number 9, blueberries. Number 10, almonds. Probably the only thing I can eat every day on this list are the leafy greens and almonds. That's it. I'm not going to eat seaweed. I'm sorry. Green tea, I have to prepare it, and I probably won't have that either. And so the reason I read that, I'm not going to read all 100 of these. I wanted to read the first 10. It's just for you to ask yourself, is this motivating to you? Does this trigger you to say, you know what? I need to do something about my fitness and health. I need to get started. Or maybe you say, my doctor told me I need to. And that helps. And maybe not, because you'll probably heard me mention Mark Hyman on my shows. And Mark Hyman was a medical doctor. He's a functional medicine doctor now. But he went through med school, and he said his getting his degree and as a doctor, they never taught him how to exercise and what to do for his exercise, especially with strength training. He had to actually hire a coach to teach him how to do proper form, to prevent injury, and to get the most out of his weightlifting, weight training routine. And he had to find what worked for him, because you can use resistance bands, you can use dumbbells, you can use machines, you can use a cabling system. What worked for him? And he finally found the one that worked for him, and he's consistent with it. But your doctor might say you need to exercise, but they don't know what to prescribe for you. And that's where a fitness trainer like me would come in. We would sit, we would talk, and we would find out what will be great for you. And in the end, I'm going to give you a routine that I think you can try, and just for 4 weeks, and see if it benefits you. But what can we tap into to motivate you, those of you who are over 50, over 60, or over 70? What can I share with you? And I was listening to a podcast, and I heard this word that I never heard before, or might have, but I didn't know what the meaning of it was. And the word is sarcopenia, or sarcopenia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I can tell you it's spelled Sarcopenia. Now, I want you to listen carefully here, because it's particularly for those of us that are really up in age. What is going to eventually happen to us, especially if we're inactive? We're couch potatoes. We don't move. We don't want to move. We don't like to move. Can this motivate you? So, what is the question? I'm going to ask these questions here. I'm going to give you answers to them as I go along. The question is, what is sarcopenia? And it says the medical definition of sarcopenia is the gradual loss of muscle mass, strength, and function. The condition commonly affects the elderly population and is thought to occur due to aging. Sarcopenia can greatly impact your quality of life by reducing your ability to perform daily tasks. Daily tasks, ladies and gentlemen. That's your working around the house, you're cleaning around the house, you're going out shopping. You know, that gradual muscle loss and that weakness can greatly affect the quality of your life. You do not want that. But then the next question is, what is the main cause of sarcopenia? It says causes include declines in hormones and numbers of neuromuscular junctions, increased inflammation, which is diet. You read what certain foods can cause inflammation. That's a big one when it comes to sarcopenia. But it says declines in activity and inadequate nutrition can be causes of sarcopenia. And the next question is, can you reverse sarcopenia? It says, although some sarcopenias are a natural consequence of aging, others are preventable. That's good news. Studies show sarcopenia can be reversed and muscle loss decreased. But how? Well, it says here a healthy diet and reasonable exercise can reverse sarcopenia, which increases lifespan and improve quality of life. That's great. So, the last question is a personal trainer's dream question. What is the best treatment for sarcopenia? Because you probably already know the answer because you're getting the answer from a fitness coach. And he loves this answer. It says the primary treatment for sarcopenia is, drum roll please, exercise. Yep, exercise. But not just any exercise. It says specifically resistance training or strength training. These activities increase muscle strength and endurance using weights or resistance bands. Resistance training can help your neuromuscular system and hormones. Wow. What does that do for you right now? Does that motivate you to think, I do not want to have the condition of sarcopenia? I don't want to have a decrease in function or decrease in muscle mass or decrease in strength or to lose the quality of life. Does that motivate you even a little bit? So, the reason I say this, because I really feel that each and every one of you can get started for you to keep going for you. And I don't want you to look at it as a 3 month program. A lot of people put you on these 3 months, 6 month programs and say, "Hey, you're good. Go back to your normal life." No, when you learn something from a trainer, he or she should teach you what to do to take over the reins for the rest of your life. So what I want to do is I'm going to post on my website, ericdunston.com. I'm going to post a weight training routine that I think each and every one of you can do. If you think of just doing the basic exercises. Now, when I say basic exercises, I'm going to say the bench press, the back row, the shoulder press, the bicep curl, the tricep press, and the squat. If you just did those basic exercises 3 times a week, you probably say that's too much. I can do it 1 time a week. No. As your coach, I'm going to recommend you do it 3 times a week. You can do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can do it Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. You can do it Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Do it 3 times a week. Watch what happens. I'm gonna put a 4 week routine down on my website. Just go and look at it. 4 weeks. But you don't stop at 4 weeks. You learn after 4 weeks and you just keep it going. Watch how you feel. Watch how strong you get. But watch the knowledge it brings you about how to do these exercises and how to do them right. Now, how do you do them right? Look it up. When you see a squat, you can type in the proper way to do a squat using whatever weights you have. If you have dumbbells, say using dumbbells. You have a kettlebell, say using kettlebell. You have a barbell if you're going to the gym. The proper way to do a squat. Look at it carefully and go do it. I'm going to put the routine. It's going to be something like I'm going to do the entire body on a Monday. And it's going to say you're going to start from the top down. You're going to like your chest, then your back, then your shoulders, then your biceps, to your tricep, and then you're going to end with a squat. And you could reverse that. You start with the squat, go with the bench press, go with the back row, shoulder press, bicep curl, and then the tricep press. But with the way we're going to do it, and if you're listening carefully, you can, if you want to jot this down, you want to start now, is you do the bench press for a certain amount of weight, and then the range would be whatever is good for you between 10 and 20 pounds to start. It can be, you probably say 20, 10 and 20 is too light for me on a bench press. You can go from 10 to 50 pounds, but you're going to do 10 reps of each exercise, but two sets. So you do a set of bench press, rest about 30 seconds to a minute, and do another set of bench press for 10 reps. Then you're going to move to the back row. You're going to move to the shoulder press, then the bicep curl, and then the tricep press. Then you're going to end with some squats. Just two sets, 10 reps. But then on that next day, with a day in between of rest, that next day, you're going to do the same thing, but this time you're going to add two more reps to it. So instead of doing 10 reps, you do 12 reps. And then that third day, with the day in between, the third day, you're going to keep the 12 reps, but you're going to increase the weight very little, probably about 2.5 to 5 pounds. Do that over 4 weeks. Now, you're not going to go to where you're doing 100-pound bench press for 50 reps. No, we're not going to increase it that way. It's just going to be steady, low stress workout routine as far as hitting all those 6 points, those six body parts, and just see how you feel in the end. That's what I'm excited about, because I think you can get started for you. I think if you think about keeping it super simple, KISS, keep it super simple, follow that routine. Think about the motivating factor behind it, sarcopenia. You do not want that to happen to you. Just keep that going on over and over in your mind. And then identify as the person you're becoming, this strong, fit person, and just keep it going from then on. If you have any questions, I would love to sit down and talk to you about it. That's what I do. On my website, ericdunston.com, I have a Let's Chat button. Go in there, click it, get on my calendar, just sit down and talk for a few minutes, see what your needs are. But if you can take my little routine and work with it, ask questions about that, because I know it will be great for you. And the last thing I want to say is, with your nutrition, also keep that super simple. Look up nutrient dense foods. Eat that kind of food, make it very flavorful for you, and enjoy that each and every day. And I think you're going to see some great results getting started for you and keeping it going for the rest of your life. I hope this helps. I hope you look at this show and you found some nugget, some gem that you can pull out and use for the rest of your life. But again, I'm Coach E. I love doing fitness training online, virtual, or sending you a routine that's based on your needs. But we have to sit down and talk first. Doesn't cost to talk. I hope we can get together one day and get your routine started. I hope you again found something good out of this show. I look forward to doing another show with an interviewed guest, someone I think you'll enjoy listening to, because she's over 70 and still enjoying the benefits of weight training, resistance training. All right, go out there and live a healthy life, be safe, and until next show, take care.